Can you see me? Hello! So, today I am just gonna wing this video. I haven't really written anything down or planned it. Normally when I make these like list videos, I write a little list so that I have a plan of what I'm gonna say, but I'm just gonna wing it today because I don't know, I just felt like it. So I'm gonna give you some advice because a lot of you who follow me are new to minimalism. Kind of, I feel like I'm still a bit of a newbie to minimalism, but I'm somewhere down the line, a little bit further down the line, and I do have some experience with it. So yeah, I wanted to give some advice for those of you who are completely new to minimalism and you're like, I really want to get into this, but I don't know how to start, and tell you the sort of things you should stop buying now. And it's like a little challenge, because I know when I first started minimalism, there were just certain things I stopped buying. I did make a video on the things I stopped buying as a minimalist or something along those lines. But I want to tell you guys what things that I would recommend that you give up and just try not to buy for a sustained period of time when you first get into minimalism. So let's get into it. So the first thing I recommend that you give up is clothes. This is going to be hard. It was very hard for me. I was a massive shopaholic. If you've watched my shopaholic video, you'll know this. And I was obsessed with buying clothes. If I had no money, I'd still buy clothes, but I'd just go to a charity shop and buy clothes, or I'd go on eBay and buy clothes. It was a real problem for me because it just meant any money I had coming in would always go on clothing. I'd be like, oh, I have some extra cash, I need to buy this now. And I'd always have like a list in my head of all the things that I really wanted and tried to tick them off, but the list was always growing. So I would just advise to just completely give up clothes and stop buying them for a sustained period of time. I don't think I bought any clothes for maybe over a year. The only clothes that I bought was a vegan jumper and vegan t-shirt from a festival, Veg Fest, because I was trying to support the brands and I didn't have any clothing with vegan on it, and I just really wanted one to sort of use in videos and Instagram. And it was kind of, I didn't really treat that as shopping because it's a different type of clothing. But I stopped fashion shopping and buying, those are the only items of clothing that I bought. I think it's a really, really good lesson to learn, because now I've been doing a little bit of shopping for Thailand, because I'm going to Thailand in a couple months. And my way of shopping is so different. Like, I'm really frugal. I've been on Depop recently. I'm selling loads of my clothes on Depop. I'll link that in the description if you want to check it out. I literally look at them, I save the items of clothing, but I'm so particular about buying it. I've only bought one thing, and it took me like weeks of looking and pondering and thinking about it and then deciding, yeah, I really want this. It's such a different way of doing it. I used to impulse buy all the time, and I just think that giving up buying clothes, because it's such a huge thing that people buy all the time, is a really good challenge to set yourself and a lesson to learn. Don't go to the shops, don't look on ASOS or Topshop or anywhere. Just avoid it completely. And I'm sure you've got a whole wardrobe filled with beautiful clothes. What I would recommend is to declutter your clothes, and you'll find that your wardrobe becomes something you enjoy more, and you'll find clothes that you didn't know were there, and you'll start wearing them again. And yeah, that's been more liberating for me, and I feel like my wardrobe is just like, give up clothes, don't buy them, challenge yourself, give yourself maybe a year to not buy any clothes and see how you go. So the next thing that I recommend you give up are toiletries. Now, hear me out, I'm not telling you to suddenly stop washing yourself and be super unhygienic. I just mean that in your cupboard, you probably have a load of toiletries that you haven't touched and that you need to use up. I know that when I started to declutter, I had so many toiletries, it was ridiculous. I had so many body butters and moisturizers and face washes and shower gels. It was just endless, and hair products. So try and use up the ones that you know that you will use, so like shower gels and stuff. And other things, get rid of them if you've not touched them in years. Just get rid of them, give them to a friend or throw them out or whatever. Stop buying all this extra stuff. I know that when you go to the supermarket, it's selling it to you, there's something on offer and you're like, oh, I haven't tried that yet. Or when you go into Boots or you see an advert, you're like, oh, I really want that. Just avoid completely. I stopped buying toiletries completely, and when I did buy toiletries, I didn't buy the conventional toiletries from the store, the shop. I went for natural things, natural alternatives, so things like coconut oil or shea butter or rose water. And I was trying to buy things that I could make my own products at home with and use in a different way, rather than kind of buying the new thing, the new gimmick that they're trying to sell you, the new eye cream or whatever. Just stop buying those toiletries that you know you don't need, because most of the time they are just extra stuff for your body and hair and face that actually probably do bad things for them, like all the chemicals and all the extra sulfates and parabens and silicons in them, and just, that's why I went no poo. You all know I did no poo, and look at it, my hair's, I love my hair now. It's finally out of transition, because for a while my hair was really struggling, but I found something that works, and I don't have to buy shampoo and conditioner anymore, and my hair is growing, it's thick, and just, I don't have to wash it. I wash it once a week, if that. Like, it's just, yeah, ditch all the toiletries and use up what you have. And if you're gonna buy something new because you run out, try and look into natural alternatives. I want to do more videos on that in the future, telling you what natural alternatives I use for skincare and hair care and all of that. Just ditch the toiletries. Another thing that I recommend you give up is junk food and processed food. Now, I'm not saying I never buy it. I'm definitely not perfect. My boyfriend is a huge culprit of buying this, and then I eat it because it's in the cupboard. But if it was down to me, I would try not to buy it as much as I could, and then maybe only on special occasions buy it, because it just really adds up on your food bill. It doesn't make you feel good, it's wasteful. It's just a good place to start if you're wanting to clean up your diet and you're wanting to sort of reduce your waste, and if you're wanting to save some money. Just try and stick to the aisles on the outside of the supermarket, so the fresh produce section, and get some rice and grains, and just don't go down the middle ones with all the goodies, even if they're, sorry, that's my phone, even if they're like vegan treats and stuff. Just try and avoid it on a day-to-day basis. You'll find that you'll start to have more money straight away, and you'll start to produce less waste straight away. So another thing that I recommend you stop buying is makeup. And I know that maybe some of you don't wear makeup, and maybe some of you guys out there watching don't wear makeup, but this applies to those of you who, like me, wears makeup and used to wear a lot of makeup and has like a good makeup collection. Try and only buy the things that are necessities, so the things you use every day, like mascara, concealer, lip balm, maybe those type of things, but don't buy the fun extra eyeshadow palettes, blushes, lip glosses, lipsticks, all that sort of stuff. I just stopped buying it completely, and I was very conscious when I was buying new stuff, and I was really hesitant to buy new stuff, and I'd like push it out as far as I could. And also over time I've tried to again look for natural alternatives and spending a little bit more money, because it tends to last longer. My experience of buying cheaper makeup and more expensive makeup is that it just lasts longer, and it's better quality, better for your skin. Try and again have a time period, like a year or so, where you just completely quit it altogether, so that when you come back to it, your just mindset's going to be different, and you're going to be a bit more conscious about purchasing things and more mindful, and the things that you do buy will be things that you actually will use and will bring you joy and happiness and will have value, and won't just be impulse buys that sit in your makeup bag all year and you don't touch. So yeah, that's my next one to give up. And finally, I would recommend that you really try and avoid buying food out as much as possible. It's fine to eat out with your friends and family, it's like a social thing. I kind of mean when you go and get a Starbucks coffee, or you go and nip into Boots and get a meal deal. I used to do this a lot at uni, and it would, the money would rack up, and the waste racks up as well, the amount of waste and plastic you use. I think it's a good place to begin with minimalism, to start being more mindful of the waste that you're producing and making things at home. It saves money, it saves waste, it saves time. Meal prepping, I don't really meal prep anymore, and obviously I'm coming from someone who works from home at the minute, but when I worked in an office I would always take my own food with me, and I would make myself a smoothie for breakfast, or I'd have porridge and I'd make it at work because they'd have a microwave, and I'd always pack lunch. And I'd do this by making a really large portion for dinner, and then I'd pack the leftovers for lunch. Or if I was really running late, I would have a salad with a sweet potato or a couple sweet potatoes, and I'd put those in the microwave. So I think that avoiding buying these type of foods when you're out is a good place to start, because a lot of us do it. It's convenient, it's easy, but it means that you end up eating junk food, you end up eating bad food you didn't want to eat, you end up spending more money, you end up producing more waste, and all the, you know, the little cutlery you have to use, the sort of plastic spoons. Like, if everybody stopped doing that and stopped using these things, imagine the amount of plastic we'd stop producing. Like, it would just be, like, it winds me up sometimes when I think about it. Like, it gets me mad, the amount of plastic spoons and straws and stuff that are just thrown away in the bin. I see them all on the side of the road when I go on bike rides. So try and find alternatives and be a bit more organised, and that will become a habit, and you'll really, really enjoy it because of the benefits that you'll experience from it. So first and foremost, the amount of money you'll save and how much better you'll feel by eating the food you've made at home from scratch rather than having junk food and crisps and snacks like that. So yes, so I hope you enjoyed that video and it wasn't too all over the place. I kind of winged it a little bit, but I wanted it to be the first things that came to mind when I first found minimalism and the things that I stopped buying and the things that I would actually recommend you to stop buying, and it will make a big difference very, very quickly to your bank statement and to your bin, your literal rubbish bin, and to just your overall mentality. It'll make you feel a lot better if you do this. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be doing this and trying to give up any of these things, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye. Oh, and I always forget to say this. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.